So I was having a true talk conversation with myself. And I wanted to share it with you because I want to get your feedback. So last night was Friday night. I was watching one of my favorite TV shows from late 1990s, early 2000s, the Steve Harvey Show. Listen, I've watched all 6 seasons multiple times, and every single time I watch it, I laugh at every episode as if I'd never seen any of them. So I was getting ready to wind down, turn in for the night, and I said, "Oh, it's Friday night. It would have been nice to have gone out with somebody." And then that's when my brain started thinking about this thing called dating. Now, I devote an entire chapter in my new book, I'm Here Now What? Finding Joy After the Storm, which is available on Amazon. So the link to purchase the book is in the description of this video. So I started thinking, and the one thing that I was thinking about was this idea of availability. Now, available means that you are accessible mentally, emotionally, physically. And when I say physically, I mean with your time, with your attention. So I have had situations where availability was in question. And this is kind of, where I want to hear from you. So let's say you have established a connection with someone. You met someone either through a dating app or someone has introduced you to someone. Does that even really happen these days? Okay. But you get to the point where you say, "Hey, you know what? I really enjoy conversation. So let's schedule time to meet, to go out for coffee, for dinner, for drinks, or whatever." Or maybe you've at least gotten to the point where you've gone out once and you say, "You know what? I really enjoy this time. Let's do it again." So you get to the point where you are establishing schedule. So he comes back, and I'm saying he because I'm attracted to men. Ask for availability. I give him my schedule, and we say, "Okay, let's make it happen." So a couple of days goes by, a week goes by, maybe longer, and you haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything. So I would go back out of courtesy to say, "Hey, how you doing? I know we talked about getting together, so we still good." Person comes back, says, "Yes, we're still good." Go back through the schedule thing again, and we put some schedules out there, and a couple days goes by, a week goes by, and you don't hear anything. So I'm not going to go back and say, "Hey, remember I'm not going to do that. Because it's telling me something about availability. Now, as I'm sharing this story, I'm not sharing it to say that people don't have stuff going on. Life isn't happening, because it is. But it does make me think about availability. So if I don't hear back, or there is no closing the loop, or we don't make the thing happen that we both talked about and expressed interest in, then it's going to tell me a few things. So yes, about availability. Maybe there's so many things on your schedule that you just don't have time to go out, let alone respond to a text or make a phone call, which is a whole nother conversation. The other part is maybe it's just not the right time. Like, sometimes we try to make things happen, and for whatever reason, it's just not the right time. Or maybe it's just not time, period. And it's like, okay, let me just cross this off the list. That's an option too. Now you might be saying, well, or maybe it's that the person is just not interested, which, okay, I get that. I would argue, though, that if that were the case, then conversations that we've had that would say otherwise, well, that would make me throw that theory out the window, okay? And if you're not interested, then just say that. I met this guy through the one dating app that I'm on right now. I was attracted to him physically, right? They seem to have a type. So we started talking through the app. We decided to exchange numbers, had a couple conversations. And first conversation was pretty cool. It was something in the conversation that just kind of made me go, But we continued to talk. Then we decided that we were going to meet for coffee. But before the coffee date, we had several other conversations, and I was like, something that I'm not feeling in these conversations. So I reached out to him and I said, I know we were scheduled to have coffee, but I'm going to cancel. I'm going to move on, but I do appreciate your time. So I wanted to be upfront with him to tell him, because in that way we weren't wasting time. So if your lack of response is due to the fact that you're not available, then let's just say that. So, and I know that, people are looking for different things when it comes to friendship, companionship, dating. Like, everybody's not on the same page. Some people might be like, I don't really care because I'm not trying to be tied down to anybody. At the stage that I'm in right now, I do want to meet people and be consistent enough so that I can get to know somebody, right? There's lots of different things happening, and you might just want to hang out with somebody. So from that perspective, yeah, that's where I am. So here's the thing that also gets a little tricky, is that sometimes, I might have a tendency to say, oh, well, wait a minute, is there something wrong with me? Like, okay, what's going on? Now, I'm going to tell you where that comes from. That goes back to the little teeny girl from elementary and middle school who was wondering if she was good enough. So here's the little tricky devil kind of thought that comes in and says, oh, this person's not following up with you. It must be you. That's the moment when I've had to, oh, nope, you're not going there, transition myself from that negative thought that's forcing me or trying to force me to take on somebody else's stuff and make it mine. So there comes a time when there's a whole lot of little tricks of the mind that try to infiltrate so that you can start thinking all these negative thoughts, whether that's about dating or otherwise. So that's a transition point, right? That's a moment of transformation, going from one thought to the next, right? A negative thought to something positive, like shifting out of that space and saying, you know what, you're not gonna make this about you not being good enough, because guess what? You are, and so am I. So I just wanted to put that little plug in it. And sometimes, our old tendencies try to creep up in there and take root and start to develop little branches and moving into spaces where they don't need to be. So that's probably a little digression, but I want to hear from you. If you are single and you are looking for whatever you're looking for, companionship, you're looking for a long-term relationship, maybe you're looking to get married for the first time, maybe you're looking to get remarried, whatever, I want to hear from you. Is this a situation that sounds familiar to you, and what are your thoughts? If you are married and you happen to be watching this, then yeah, share your thoughts too, because it might be something that the single ones of us might need to hear. Keep it in mind that things are just different now. So they're different than what they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20, even 30 years ago, hell, even 40 years ago. It's different when it comes to relationship. So yeah. I also want you to do this. I know you're probably having conversation with your friends, your family about this very topic. I know I've had enough of them, which is why I share here. So I want you to share your comments, and I also want you to share this out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel also, because these are conversations that I'm having right now just about this dating thing, but there's a whole lot of other conversation about transformational moments, right? To keep us in the space where we need to be for our own mental, physical, spiritual well-being, and just to be the best that we can possibly be. So with that being said, again, subscribe to the channel. Do turn the notification bell on also, because when I'm having these True Talk conversations and I want to share them with you, then I want you to be the first to know. All right, so I'm looking forward to your comments. So I also look forward to seeing you again real soon. Until I do, take care of yourselves, and yes, be well.